What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and I have been tracking the story of Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion getting a remake for like a month now. I wanted to talk about it because I'm a massive fan of fantasy settings like Elder Scrolls, and Oblivion is one of my all-time favorites. It was just made graphically redundant by Skyrim to the point that it became kinda like Morrowind to me, a game that I admire fondly, but every time I get the itch to play new Elder Scrolls, I just go with Skyrim. And to be honest, after almost a decade and a half, that's getting a bit old.
Let's go, on board, let's go.
Well, rumor was that they were going to shadow drop an Oblivion remake from Bethesda and Virtuous sometime in April. Like I said, I wanted to cover this before, but there was a lot of information from leakers that was being refuted by other leakers. The main area of contention was the release date. At first we heard the game was going to come out in the first week or so of April, and then it kept getting pushed back and back to the point that, to be honest, I started to disbelieve that this was even going to happen. But images from a Virtuous website have now been leaked showing that this project is indeed real, and they are calling it a remaster, not a remake.
Give me a hell yeah!
We don't have an exact date, but we do have a window for this game to come out, which I will show you guys in a minute here. I just want to take a moment, though, to celebrate. As someone who finds it difficult to get too excited about most new releases in the gaming industry these days, for once, I find myself pretty excited. If I had to use one word to describe how I'm feeling right about now, it would definitely be the following.
Groovy.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video to fend off the algorithm monster, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to follow me over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. But anyhow, let's talk about this Oblivion remaster. And actually, I gotta say, I kind of balk at the name. From the sound of things, the game is being redone in a completely different engine. So I'm not really sure why they decided to call it a remaster instead of a remake, but whatever, I guess, we'll just go with it. Here are a list of other things, though, that are being reconfigured in this new game. They're changing the blocking so that it's more like a Souls-like game. They have sneak icons that are highlighted, the stamina system is being altered, the HUD is changed, hit reactions are being added, and archery is being completely overhauled, which is good because archery was kinda dog shit in the original Oblivion. But here's an article talking about this release. This comes from Insider Gaming. The article reads, "Minutes ago, images were uploaded and circulated on social media showcasing alleged shots of Oblivion Remastered, not Oblivion Remake. In the images, we see side-by-side comparisons which help to uncover how much of an evolution the game will be. The details that have appeared online also suggest a deluxe edition is on the way. The game is still expected to be shadow dropped by Bethesda and Virtuous next week after April 21st. That claim was recently backed up by Jeff Grubb, who has reportedly heard from separate sources that we're just days away from the Oblivion remastered release. And this here shows all the images that were found on the Virtuous website files. Now, one complaint that I have about the game, as you can see here from this post on X, is that they added a so-called piss filter to the game. Those side-by-side images show you that they took away the vibrant colors from the original Oblivion. I hate how modern games all go for that bland look. It's a minor complaint, but I must confess that I don't love that very much at all. However, one thing I do love about these images is that they give me the confidence that in fact this game has been made and it will likely be releasing in the very near future, and that is amazing. But all that said, I have to say, I feel bad for the makers of Oblivion right now. In case you aren't familiar with that, Oblivion was a long-anticipated fan-made game where they were basically taking the game engine and mechanics of Skyrim and they are applying that to the world and story of Oblivion. It was an entirely fan-made game that they had been working on since 2012, which is insane. The sad thing is that Oblivion was supposed to come out this year. 2025 was their target year. So to me, it sure seems like the Oblivion remaster is kind of a big middle finger to the Oblivion crew. Bethesda really did them dirty when you think about it. I understand wanting to make sure that your game gets released before Oblivion in order to make sure that you maximize your money. I get it. These people at Bethesda are running a business, and if Oblivion comes out, then there would undoubtedly be a certain number of fans who would pass on an Oblivion remaster because they already had access to a new version of the game. I get that. I get why they would do this, but not only did they rush to make sure that they get their version of Oblivion out before the fan-made project was done, but they are shadow dropping it. Nobody had any idea about this project at all until quite recently, and this was not an accident. Clearly the people at Bethesda and Virtuous didn't want to tip their hands. They didn't want the Oblivion team to work harder to get their game released faster, but I gotta say, this to me is actually some bullshit. Some serious corporate BS. Bethesda should have announced that they were remastering or remaking or whatever. They should have announced a new Oblivion years ago and told Oblivion to back off. But no, they kept everyone in the dark, thereby screwing over their most passionate fans, who have now put in over a decade of work for what might end up being nothing. There might not be that many people who are that excited about playing it now since we get this Oblivion remaster. This, to me, is reminiscent of the way Nintendo treats some of their fans, with some of the shit they pull, with fans who make stuff using their characters, and how they bring out all their legal teams to nip that stuff in the bud. It's cutthroat, and I don't much care for it. Granted, as an Elder Scrolls fan, I'm still plenty excited about this announcement, but I just want to take this time to say how much I hate this sort of corporate shithead behavior. The Oblivion crew deserved far better treatment, but I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your thoughts on this Oblivion situation into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.